Welcome to Soul Ties Karmic Recall with David Dimitri. Edutainment, expression for liberation, and all you vibrating higher consciousness. We're here to continue the social media mass entertainment discussion. That's right, entertainment when we need edutainment. With this use of social media, this is something I want to do. Everything I just said on that rant, on that venting. I want people that took a stand, that got treated like shit, that got rejected by their family, their genetic family, that before YouTube made conspiracy theory, before YouTube made being black and conscious so popular, before YouTube made having your naturalness and being conscious, before YouTube made Phil Valentine famous, people like me that was already on Phil Valentine in the 90s, and I'm a young man, so I'm giving props to Phil Valentine for what he done for me. And so that's what I'm saying. You want leaders, but I'm not sure if you're choosing the right leaders. I don't want to hear those excuses. I didn't get on dope. I sold dope temporarily. My mom blind. I got her out the bad situation she was in, and I stopped selling. What's your excuse? You got popped because you thought you was cute. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear it. That don't make you noble going to jail and prison. That's something that you suffered. But that don't mean you didn't cause your own suffering. So these are the things that we want to talk about. And I think in regards to social media, if you're addicted to social media, that's your fault. So if they come to find out it's 666, you going to blame them? Is you noble because you didn't know that the chip was getting put in you? You gonna blame them? The blame game? The excuse game? You know what I'm saying? I deal with people all the time. I always can pull something out of my bag that they didn't do. Whether it was in a struggle or whether it was an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? That's just something that I respect myself for. So, no one can come before me and put me down. And so, with the social media, my whole point of all this is that I'm going to let her take over now. But I feel social media made unattractive people attractive. Mm-hmm. Made ugly people on the inside pretty on the inside. Mm-hmm. Made people that were untalented talented. Made people that were failures successes. And what we call that is manipulation. Can you give us a curve on that?
Yeah, social media allows people to build whatever image they need to build. All you gotta do is use photos, videos, and no one will ever know. That's just like a lot of people will talk crap to other people on social media and will never do that in no one's face. They'll portray to be this positive person when really every day they're going out lying to people, trying to figure out how to deceive someone or steal from them or get something from them, trying to use people. And those people that talk crap, you've seen a couple of videos where that other person receiving all that trash talk traced that person's IP address, showed up at their house and was ready to put hands on him.
That buff brother?
Yeah, a couple other people have done that too. And people, even with dating, see somebody on social media, they talk for however long, months, maybe it goes even to years, they finally meet up. That person is nothing like those text conversations that they had been having. That person is nothing like those text conversations that they had been having, even if they branched to phone conversations. That person is completely, sometimes even the opposite of what they portray to be. Sometimes there's fake pics. Sometimes they're married, got kids. Sometimes they were, posing to be somebody else. You never know. That's the kind of rift that you have with social media. But it also allows an outlet for positive people to get out there. But unfortunately, controversy, violence, sex, a lot of negative things, they kind of get more attention a lot of the times. Not all the time, but majority of the time, that's what gets most of the attention. If you scroll down your newsfeed on Facebook, you'll probably see more fight videos, videos of parents publicly shaming their kids, getting whoopings, pranks where people are, punching people in the face or slapping people in the face. You probably see that more than you'll see someone doing a positive lecture, cultural dancing, a video of, a child learning something good. It's always, something negative first or violent first.
Wow. So basically everything that was going on before social media is now on social media.
Correct. People can see everything. People can see kids get their butt whoops down.
So that means the cops was already shooting and killing and beating black men and women to death and black children to death.
Yeah, just now people can see it.
Because of cell phones.
Right, because of cell phones. And that whole thing with people being able to record things wherever they're at without those humongous old school video cameras, it kind of created like a culture of watchers or, at-home reporters, if you would say. A lot of times people won't even help if someone's in trouble. They'll take out their phones and they'll record while somebody's getting their freaking face crushed in. And while someone is drowning, they're still recording. And while this person is crossing the street and doesn't see that car, they're video recording as that person is getting slammed by that car, when they could have just yelled out, hey, watch out for that car, or where they could have called 911 and that person would have drowned and died. It's really crazy. Like, people have almost no empathy, it seems. It seems like, them recording that is so important and posting that is so important, and receiving that feedback from them posting that video is so important to them than that well-being or even life of that other person.
Damn. It's true. Whew. Hoping that don't happen to me.
Right.
I can't depend on nobody to help me, obviously.
Well, at least if they record it, they'll have evidence.
I don't think the evidence keeping black people alive in this society. I don't think the evidence keeping black people alive in this society. Well, stay tuned. Time for an advert break. Prime Up Developmentals and the Metaphysical Life Coaching and Guidance Counseling video tutorial series, plus Soul Ties Karmic Recall book series at soultieskarmicrecall.com. Now back to the STKR show. I think what social media is also doing, it's giving people an avenue to see the other side of the stories. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of people aren't Christian anymore. And they're not Muslim. They're not Judas. They're not
that's because,
Jews or Hebrews. They're not following that any longer.
Or, all that information is available to them. It's right there.
So basically, it seems like a lot of what you call black people, or the Africans that were already in the United States of America throughout Canada and Central and South America, that were mixed with the Africans that were brought here through the slave trade. It seems like the Africans are more accepting of the ancient Egyptian or Kemetic and Olmec and Mayan influence. It's like, because I know me personally, I ain't gonna lie, I've been conscious for a long time, y'all. So whatever conscious is, I just been for a long time. I grew up different. I grew up with the Crips and Bloods in the terrible neighborhoods, the places you didn't want to go. No, I don't want to hear it, homie. You didn't want to go there. I had to live there. I was one of them you was afraid of. I ain't gonna lie to you. But, the universe is doing things. So take me from that to being a Jedi and becoming a conscious, and this ain't new. Like I said, in the 90s, I was on Dr. Deborah Blair and Jewel Pookrum. Before I was even on Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemming. And this is before the year 2000. I was in the early 90s and Fall of America, ISIS Papers. This is in the mid 90s. I met Tupac in 93. Kicked it. We chilled. I'm just letting you know I got a background. So, I'm conscious. But I don't put myself out there for certain reasons. I'm not perfect in the sense of the world, and I just don't like to get caught up in the beat shit that people are slaves to. The ego and ignorance rules over people, And to every desire, there's 11 sufferings, and people aren't aware of that. But to know that in the early 90s, I was in a harsh situation, so I had to play hermit. But in dealing with the social media, what I'm seeing also is a diversification of the conscious of how people identify themselves and what they're being. It's not plain and simple no more. People used to be Christianified everywhere. Now there's Christians everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's a Bible-ized place. A difficult task I had to take. Everybody into the basic instructions before leaving earth. The Quran, the Torah. But those are young mind states. Those are young ways of seeing the world. The Buddha and the Hindu and the Ifa and the Yoruba and the Yemen and the Congo and the Dogon, the Nubians, the Comedics. That goes back. The American natives, that stuff, and the Australian natives. We going back so far back that it's ridiculous compared to this few thousand-year-old idealism. So when I grew up, everybody was Christian. And everyone was dumb as hell. Not to put Christians down, but goodness gracious. People were just stupid. They were brutalizing each other for nothing. But you know what? Social media has not only helped things, it hurt things. Because the misuse of social media and the perpetration of sexual misuse of sexual capability and violence on social media, just like in the video games, just like in the corporate media and the movies and the TV and the news. People misuse social media, as she said, for the negative. So, guys are still thinking with their dick. Females still thinking with their pussy. People are jealous of everyone. You got people that are the conscious stripper, bringing down conscious brothers. You got conscious brothers being suckers for females like conscious strippers. All they need to do is have a homie like me, and I'll put them up on game. But when you know that you're supposed to have a tight team that tell you not to trust and tell you how to trust, then you get caught up. And you're supposed to be the leader of everybody, but you don't have the basics straight. But I think everybody has the right to learn. So brother man got the right to learn, and he got the right to lead. And I'm going to follow his lead because I think that brother only helped me. But that sister only helped him and me because she let everybody know, people like the women that I dealt with that played like they were conscious, but really they wasn't nothing. But people coming from being a groupie in music and groupie with whoever was selling the dope and smoking their crack up to becoming a groupie and a crackhead in the conscious community. And I'm not fucking around saying that they just crackheads. I'm telling these people are smoking crack. People are smoking crack. People are smoking crack. That influences my view. You are influenced with your view, and you have your right to it. But the word and opinion is a sorry excuse for a woman or a man. I repeat, the word opinion is a sorry excuse for a woman and man. So if you want to be entertrained, and if you are subconsciously and unconsciously out to entertain people, because your addiction to attention, whether it's getting attention or giving attention, addiction to attention is not just getting attention, it's also giving it. You should come to terms with your flaws, because the reason why I'm doing this is because I have. I'm not here to be liked. I'm David Dimitri.
I'm Allison.
And we're here with Soul Ties Karmic Recall. Benevolence. Thank you for watching the Soul Ties Karmic Recall webisodes. Check for more on YouTube at Soul Ties Karmic Recall, and go to soultieskarmicrecall.com for the book series and MLCGC video tutorials.